Super dope.
Oh.
All
Hasn't
right.
he ever wanted to play D&D? Or do you prefer not
A little
to
bit.
mix?
No, I would. It's more his work hours. He works
Uh,
crazy. Yeah.
What does he do?
He's a
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. As always, I am Captain Valen, and I am. Oh, I play Seto, the sorcerer rogue, and I am joined by the finest motherfuckers to ever fuck a mother.
Hello, my name is Mike. I'm a number one motherfucker. I play Steve, the Furblog Druid.
I'm Sophia. I am the second motherfucker, and I play Walden, the Warforged Barbarian Ranger.
I am Rev and I play Newt and I am the next motherfucker, but not the last.
And I am Sage, the final motherfucker, and this is a Hills Have Bones, a D&D game of giant proportions. Last week we had a large battle in a fortress. We managed to destroy their guards on duty, the rest to give up, making Walden large and having many zombies on the field quickly dispatched any resistance as the Alliance showed up on the back of camels. When they showed up, the group was unsure whether they were allies or not. However, Lucrid and Gruter's welcoming beckons and the other allies on the battleground, seeing these camel riders with great joy seems to signal that they are part of the Alliance. As we reset the scene, you've just been told by Liza and Gruter and Lucrid that there is stuff they want to show you back at the grotto. You see that the guards that have given up are being tied up by members of the Alliance. Morning has fully come into pass now, and it's probably about 8-9 a.m. And as the sun rises, you start to see the waters not recede, but they've stopped growing and encroaching as much on the city. Walden, this would probably remind you a bit of when it was more similar to being an oasis, or at least the rivers that used to run more readily through Hanka. And the Alliance members are just happy that they seem to have taken a fort which could have great value to them in the future. You notice that the citizens also seem to be starting to convert to be Alliance members. They seem welcoming of the Alliance and happy that somebody is doing something compared to what the guards were doing. And it seems that the money that you donated has been used to get resources so that the Alliance can not just weaponize themselves, but rebuild this city in a way that works for its people. Tristan, the guardsman that you converted to your side, Travis, the guardsman that you converted to your side, is willing to follow you to the Alliance and has accepted that his position was wrong. And having proven himself in the battle and shown himself to be of great value, Lucrid does welcome him along. Do you make your way back to the grotto? Yeah. Okay.
We've freed everybody, right?
Yes, there's no longer a rush to free the prisoners. Although the lower basements are kind of flooded out a bit, you were able to free the majority of people, and any guardsmen down there have been rescued. As there's kind of this more peaceful moment where like people are either mending to their wounds or accepting they've lost.
Okay. I would say before I go to the grotto, I'm going to help heal the people that were hurt during this skirmish, and then we'll go.
Cool. How do you help heal them?
I guess my healing spells, or it depends on what's needed.
There were quite a few Alliance members that went down during the battle, and quite a few guardsmen, but most of them are either incapacitated and being treated by the guards, the ones that are still up. Anyone with a red dot is injured, so Gruter is injured if you wanted to help, and Tristan is injured.
Let's see.
Travis.
First thing I'm gonna do. Did anybody die from the Alliance?
Yes, there were people who died, and unfortunately, but as their Alliance members, knowing what they were doing, people are kind of putting their bodies onto their camels and preparing a proper burial for them.
Well, I can revivify one of them.
Okay. So, if that's something you want to do, yeah.
I will do that.
Okay.
And then I will cast Healing Word on Gruta. That's her name? You want to start?
Yes.
Ruta.
I will take off that red dot. Boop. You do so. You cast these healing magics on the people that need them, and you revivify one of the Alliance members who had lost their life but now is able to walk among the living again. Give me 1 second while I give them a face.
Is there anybody injured in the
Yeah,
in
same
the other
question.
team? No, no, in the rebels, in our enemies.
Oh,
Anybody that's like,
You know, the one
was
with the
against
red
us
dot?
but is still alive.
Oh, any of those guardsmen with the red dots would be
Yeah,
injured.
Anybody looks like on their last legs?
This dude.
I'm gonna make a what's it called, a vampiric bite, so I can heal myself. I'm gonna eat him. Yeah, alive.
yeah, alive. In front of fucking everybody.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Do you
Such a shame.
hide that in any way?
No,
Oops.
No.
I have no shame.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't need if he needs to die. It's just
I mean, you
1d4.
asked for the weakest one,
yeah,
Like,
but it has
and
it's 7
4
damage.
would that will kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna suck his blood. That my tongue stuck in his neck and it start leaching.
Do you hide this in any way?
I don't
Do I
think
see
so.
this?
No,
Um.
I don't have the idea that this is a bad thing to do.
Okay.
fair.
I'm gonna make you roll an intimidation to see whether any of the guards call you out. But it's likely that some of the Alliance might call you out. But the guards might not if they find it intimidating, which they do.
25.
Seto
Okay.
would, but not for the reason you think.
You
Do I see
do
this?
actually.
I don't think any reason. I just
You are by that guardsman, so yes, you would see this, Steve.
Okay, well then I will heal the guardsman while he's doing that.
and I heal by 7
I
7 nutrients of guardsman.
So it's like, that
Oh
doesn't
my
count.
god, guys, you're so chaotic. Oh, it's 7 healing.
I'm drinking his inner soup.
Shiminy crackers. This guy. Oh my god. This poor person.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that with an intimidation of 25, your combined effort of healing and eating somebody at the same time means that although the Alliance members very creeped out, they're kind of like morally grey because Steve has healed them, and the other guardsmen are terrified of the power of life and death you guys seem to have. Yeah.
Seto's stomping his foot like an angry kid. Like, it doesn't count. It was over.
I'm hungry. I'm spent. Need to recover strength.
Well, I guess either
Who else?
way, he gives like a huge like pat on the leg because you're fucking giant right now.
Let's look at the other guards.
To Wally, he's like, Jiminy crackers. That is the highest score I've ever seen.
Oh boy. I'm just kind of at a loss for words on how to react to this situation. I'm just like keeping an eye out to like see if like just making sure there's no like big like explosion that happens like of like emotions.
Yeah, I don't know if I, the DM, can process that, so I'm just gonna ask if we're going to the garage.
You eat or you are eaten. Isn't like this in the surface. It's like this in the sewers.
Not so directly. No, you see, there's like, we have restaurants up here. We'll get you most things you want to eat. You don't have to go around eating the sick and the poor, you know.
Oh, and in restaurants you can eat whoever you want.
Whoever, that's not quite the right term. But
Can I take
mean,
this one to
I'm sure we
restaurant?
can find
I grab
something.
the next guard in line.
So sorry, like, no, Jesus. like you can't go racking up scores and points after the fighting's all done. We'll figure something out for you. You don't need to be scraping this lot here. We'll get you like an aristocrat to eat or something.
Yeah.
What?
Let's go.
The man you resurrected, Steve, is called Ivan Redfern, and is stood next to you. And he goes to comment on what happens and decides that having already gained his life again, not worth it. As you guys make your ways through the city. As you guys do this, one of the things that you notice is that people's joy about the water has not subsided. People are ecstatic. The children you saw earlier playing are now gathering gallons of water in buckets as strategically as possible. And Seto, a small child actually approaches you.
Hey.
Hi, you bought coal, and I think you gave me coal, but I didn't
Sounds
need it.
about right.
Yeah, but there's water again. Well, they say it's again. I've never seen it.
That's and kind of like, I don't know, like splashes water on her. Like it's fine. It's just a little bit of wet.
But we can sell it.
We can sell the water.
We can sell the coal.
Oh.
We didn't have enough water to. We can sell the coal now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
They say that we can make steam-powered things.
Oh,
Well, now we have the resource.
because with enough water and enough burning, you get things moving. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And like that kid that you met when you
Yeah.
first came in runs
Yep.
off.
It's like, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be well. That kid's gonna make so much fucking money. I'm gonna drop off a big bag of coal for him just because I fucking want to. Gotta love the entrepreneurial spirit in these young fucks.
Yeah, as you do see the city of Hanka is starting to rebuild itself, you make your way back to the grotto.
Ooh.
As you make your way back, Travis has joined you, and this time everyone is ready to have a rest, a relax, and a rejoice, as it seems like the council has been subsided. They've heard news from Martha that due to your efforts, they weren't able to make the meet, but Auntie Grin was, and so Grinwall was able to represent themselves. Generally speaking, the atmosphere has an ever so slight tinge of melancholy about how long it took to make a difference in Hanka. But overall, people are rejoicing the fact that it's happening. And the grotto being safer from the flooding, many people have come here, not just Alliance members. Many people have come to just enjoy dry feet, but others have come to learn about how much effort these people put in beforehand and how long it's been going on.
It's really quite heartening to see. Like, I think Walton's look at in a bit of a shock to see like how quickly the vibe of this place has changed.
You do see that it's almost as though the adversity of the last few days, having all these earthquakes, these floods, knowing that the government and the church and this council were being unhelpful, has given people hope to change it now that they've been actually challenged. And although things need rebuilding, the idea of being able to build it together seems to have actually, and the money that you guys gave into the town as well, they're not just poor and everything is dead. Not many people actually died. You guys were careful even to help as many civilians survive the events as possible. And many actions that were taken along the way of earthquakes when things were going wrong in the floods, saving the civilians and the guardsmen place. Like, the overall mood is kind of upbeat. And you do see little goblins kind of like trying to pickpocket, getting slapped on the wrist and told we don't do that anymore, which is kind of adorable too.
Settle pulls one of the little kids aside. Is like, "Aye, but we don't do it any less either, do we?" And then like sends him off on his way. He's a bad influence, and this is a fun time. He's having a great time.
And you guys will be able now to take a long rest.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we need that shit.
Yeah.
It's like all we can do for buff. Just passes the fuck out.
There is a lot of alcohol. This might be the first time some of these, characters have been able to actually enjoy relaxing in a long time. Lucred has been on the road as long as you guys have been fighting for Hanka.
That's fair. And it's springtime, so you know the party's gonna be lit.
This water is disgusting. And I cast purify water on Seto's drink. Not just water.
On Seto's, what are you doing? You messed up the beauty in it. It's you know what? You can have this. That's fair enough. But see this is called. We like to call this the mother's milk. It's a wee bit of whiskey here, and we drink it, and everything's better, and everybody has fun, and you can drink. I don't know what the fuck it. Hey, kind of. You see the smile come across his face.
Oh,
And he pulls out the corpse liquor for the person that eats bodies, and he wants to get drunk.
What's that? I'm gonna drink it. This is better water, and I gulp it.
Oh, good luck with that one.
I need you to make a constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
I have defense of immunity to disease.
Disease.
Yeah, but I don't know poison.
You need to make a constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh God, please don't.
18.
Yes!
Nice. Okay. With an 18, what I'll say is you are violently sick. But it doesn't actually stay in your system. Your system is reactive enough that it doesn't like get into your bloodstream. But as the putrefied juice of 100-year-old corpses, that fermentation is enough ethanol that it would be toxic in a poisonous way. And although you probably do mourn the taste of it being quite delicious because it is so putrefied, the level of ethanol really would probably not work well. So you're all right, and you did get to taste it, which is a win.
You got to taste it twice. You see, so that's winning all over again.
Yeah. And I punch everybody that gets close to me.
I would say that
friend.
you
With my floppy arms.
Right? This is fantastic.
And I boast
I would
about
say
having killed a dragon.
I would say Walden definitely like hung out with everybody else as we kind of like chilled and drank a bit. But then I think like didn't like stay that long and just started wandering through the city and just kind of like seeing what's been happening, like not even necessarily like going to a specific place or trying to do a specific action, just wandering and seeing how things are.
Before you go to kind of shift off, I would say that the people next to you say, like, make sure you get rest. We need, there's things to do in the morning kind of thing. But nobody really stops you. Like, there's enough alcohol and cheerfulness and they do know the situation with the Walden. So I think they would kind of not say anything. Do any of the party members make a perception check, or do they kind of let Walden navigate? away.
Navigate what?
Walden's going to go for a walk, and I'm just seeing if anyone notices. So
If he
Newt
like if he
doesn't.
leaves or like following him.
We'll even to know if he leaves, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm always looking at things that I'm
Yeah,
around.
Seto wouldn't follow. Like, he'd still be at the party, but if he saw him leaving, he'd be like, "Where are you going, you beautiful fuck?"
I see two Waldens leaving.
That's because you're shit.
Yeah, natural yeast is a bitch.
Where
Um,
is it? There it is. Jeez, sorry.
18. Okay. I'm gonna say those perception checks are pretty high. I think you notice, yeah, Walden go off. It's whether Walden defends going off alone or whether he accepts you coming along.
Well, is anybody even like actively trying to involve?
Seto's like, "Where are you going, you beautiful fuck?"
Oh.
It's obviously, you know.
I'm just like Wall doesn't really have a proper response. Like there's this kind of like break in the like kind of internal structure, or like, you know, instead of having like an answer for anything, just like, well, just kind of like, I don't know. Around.
That's the goodest place to be as any at the moment. Just don't get your gears too sticky. We'll have to hold you down in the morning, you giant fuck. And
Sounds good.
That gives him like the thumbs up. Fucking high score. Highest score fucking ever. And starts turning around telling everybody about your high score.
So yeah, Walden proceeds to kind of leave the group for a bit. Could you make me a perception check, Walden?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you said you're not really looking for anything in particular. It's more of a processing, right?
Yeah, it's like a just kind of like mentally trying to like figure things out, and it's just like dealing with everything that's happened in the last like couple days. It's been a lot happening in a short amount of time.
I think with a 16, as you're walking through the town, I think memories kind of come back a bit. And I think you start to have that moment of, oh, like, this is more like it used to be. And as the water kind of starts to be like, the fountain that was in the plaza is no longer one of the only water sources in the that's open. And you see that Walden unit that you saw keeping an eye on the civilians that deactivated is now being posed by children. And they're kind of not necessarily just like playing with them, but like there's a level of like missing what used to, in their eyes, not be a force of enforcing justice, but a force of keeping people like safe. The warden units were very rarely used as like a physical force as much as an imposing presence that kept things a bit quieter. And so in the eyes of children, sometimes that's not as scary.
I think I'm just gonna like kind of sit down nearby watching the kids for a little bit, and then like, you know, I won't stay for a huge amount of time, but if like the kids like leave and go and do something else, then I will like kind of go up to the deactivated Walden.
I'm gonna roll a perception check for these kids. And I'm gonna say that they've got a plus nothing because kids aren't wise yet. That takes time. But I think with one of them getting a 12, they might vaguely notice you at the corner of their eye. And they start pointing and like get excited. What do you think your response would be?
I think there's an initial like uh-oh kind of response. Like this is definitely not something that like Walden was like really like prepared to deal with. But he doesn't leave. He just kind of like sits there. Are they approaching, or are they just pointing and saying stuff?
I think at this point, like as you're like kind of watching them, they do start approaching. Like, yeah.
Um, I'll give them a little wave as they come over.
And they wave back excited, and the one that spotted you comes up to you and goes, "Hi, Mister, you're working. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I do you where how
Uh, I'm not quite sure of that myself.
oh." Normally, when my dad doesn't know, he's not honest about it. I like that you were.
Well, I think I'm the last one.
Oh, wow. There's lots of kids. I'm definitely not the last one.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Do you have friends too? This is my friend Tiffany.
Hi. Yeah. No, I've got a couple friends. Got some friends.
Hi.
Hi.
Friends are good.
Yeah. Yeah. My friends have been very helpful.
We used to be friends with that Walden.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good at attracting the pigeons.
Hmm.
They used to let us pet the pigeons.
That's great. That's great.
And they kind of like seeing that you are just like a kind of safe unit, they kind of go back to being with their pigeon attracting friend. And they start like posing his arm up to like hope that a pigeon will come down.
I'll stand up and I'll start to walk away. But like before I really kind of get away, I kind of stop and I turn and I go, "Do you have a name?"
Yeah, he said that he was unit 6, so he liked being called 6.
Okay. Well, I wave towards the deactivating. I'm like, "It was nice to meet you, 6."
I
And I'll
think
walk away.
he would say that too. But why? And yeah, you kind of wander away from the plaza and kind of take in the city a bit more.
Yeah.
As we go back to in the grotto, um, Travis is kind of making a bit of conversation with Steve and saying how excited they are to feel like they've made a choice for themselves for once. Martha seems to have something on her mind and is contracting some kind of crystal holding device, which is not something you've seen. Normally, she's way more interested in the ground. And Liza is absolutely just talking about fish and won't stop.
I'm listening to the fish thing.
The thing about fish is they're best grilled or over a hot, smoky fire. The problem is there's not much coal in Hanka because we didn't have much use for it with it being so hot.
So
But I
fish
should have.
is like water rats, aren't they?
They're very similar to water rats. In fact, I would say much better than a water rat. A fish is a wonderful thing.
One big fish.
There are large fish.
I want to eat the largest fish.
I wouldn't know.
Large.
Oh, well, that would be probably a shark.
I want to punch a shark in the face, and I'm gonna eat a shark.
You'll have fabulous adventures. Fish are the primary source of any adventure.
Where's the fish?
And yeah, you and Liza engage in this colorful conversation about fish.
All right. I'll go over to our earth-loving friend and see what's going on with this crystal she's looking at.
Okay. She talks to you, and what do you ask her?
Hey, how are things looking with the studies?
Oh, right, of course. Yes. Well, the thing is, I'm trying to work out how to pull memories out of objects. Things that have been interacted with in a large emotional time. And she kind of does stare into space for a second, before she says, I think Mayor Winton, I think he might have given you guys some significant items that hold memories of both their past users, but also the past in general. And we've got reason to believe that something has changed in the world.
Potentially. What kind of objects were you looking for? Also,
Well,
I heard Lucrid had a great idea about talking to old chairs.
yes, I have to admit that false intel has never been his best suit. However, at least he follows every lead like it's completely true, and maybe it's better that some of it gets believed than none of it gets believed.
Oh my god, that's the most savage shade. Like ever. Sorry.
Anyway, as the wind interrupted, I think that objects do hold memory, but I don't think you can talk to an object through normal means. I'm trying to make this crystal kind of project those memories into a more visible form. Whether that takes place inside the mind or outside, that's the problem I'm having.
Do you mind if I give it a try?
Oh, well, by all means, please do help. My artificery is not the best.
I'm just going to try to perceive as hard as I fucking can into this crystal.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah?
Muted.
You're still muted.
I'm doing some of my own stuff, and the fact that like a lot of his friends are in the same place has started to catch fucking drunk springtime Seto's attention. So like, if magic is needed, this is like one of his strong points. He can help magic while you help perceive, and by our powers combined, Thundercats ho.
As that perception roll was pretty high, I will let you do an Arcana check to help. And see if Steve's perception and your Arcana can't intertwine.
Well, if it's not like a thing, I don't want to like fuck up the mojo. I was just offering to help.
Oh, no. It might help. It won't detriment.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right, because it's not tied to my charisma. We talked about this. Fuck. Sexy roll, sexy. You know what? I'll take that sexy roll. It's a straight roll. That's all I got. And I'm drunk. I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm still doing whispers. Fuck.
No, I got it. Oh, it might have been whispered to DM though.
Yeah. It's alright.
But I got it at least. Yeah, with that check of a 15 and Steve's 29, I would say, Steve, as you perceive into this crystal, you see that what this crystal seems to be doing is more like magnifying than actually being a power source. And Seto, with your arcana, you're able to understand that the crystal itself is almost more like a divination system. So it's almost more about bringing. It's almost like the divination, like the spell divination. But rather than it being a spell, it's more like, those rods that you find water with.
Yeah, the things.
And I feel like they are called divining something.
Yeah, divination
but
rods.
those divination rods, yeah. It's almost like those where it's trying to point itself in the direction of stuff to magnify it, rather than it itself having power. And you guys together work out that that's Martha's problem, is that this crystal is only able to magnify an already happening spell. And she has not worked out how to get that second spell in to draw out any kind of past memory.
Are we holding this now?
I imagine
Yeah,
you
I
were
would
like
say so.
holding it, and then like I kind of like crept up because you're like fucking tall, like between your legs, and like kind of like holding it from the bottom. You know what I mean? Like in a real weird drunken way, because it's fun that way.
I'm gonna tie it to some rope and just kind of hang it, see what it does.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like a
I'm with you. Give me. I'm gonna say Arcana with advantage because Seto is helping you. Cool. With a 21, I would say, A, that's not bad. And B, you seem to be able to get this crystal to move in a circle. And as you do so, it's almost as if like not a screen, but a shadow of events starts playing out like a puppet show within the circle that the crystal spins in. And when it's not in motion, it seems to want to point towards strong presences. Because there are so many in this room, it can't seem to make its mind up and just like zigzags a lot. But when you give it a bit of a welly and attach a rope to it, it seems like you might be able to find a way to finagle this.
it's a fucking zoetrope, right? That's what the shadow play, right?
Yeah, really similar. Yeah,
That's fucking sexy balls.
I hadn't considered moving the crystal like that. Wait a second. And like Martha goes to like see if she's got any spell scrolls and like feels like you might have cracked part of this. And as you're kind of fiddling with this crystal, you notice that your pouch is going through its cycle. And I believe right now it would be green, pink.
Green is growth.
Green is growth.
Green is growth.
I think green is duplicating. Blue is
green is live forever. Red is destroy. Blue is duplicate. I wrote it down.
No, thank you. Yes. You're muted.
That's my caution against myself because I talk too much. But Seto starts to like kind of like all right, keep it there for a second, and is really starting to fiddle with his monocle that he has. It's more like an eye patch, but anyway. And he's just kind of like fiddling with it, trying to use his magic through it, Like, he's just really trying to get a beat on this thing that it's been helpful, with the detect magic and stuff like this whole time, and he's trying to see if it can see deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, trying to. If you've ever seen the phenomenal Nicolas Cage movie about the fucking Declaration of Independence, National Treasure, where he flips through the different glasses of the bifocals that Ben Franklin made, that's how I feel this looks in my brain.
Yes, it looks exactly like that. Let me just look something up real quick.
Also, I'm going to say on record, so everybody can hear, I don't like your reaction when I said Nicolas Cage masterpiece.
We are Europeans. That movie is an insult for history and adventure movies. And I love Nicolas Cage.
Hear me out. Which one? Which one? There are just so many
amazing Nicolas Cage movies.
Yeah. Actually, his newest one slaps.
The one with Pedro Pascal, where he's himself. That shit is so
genuinely
good.
slaps. It genuinely slaps.
So aware of itself. Not the bees. Facts. That was a choice he made. That movie. That whole movie was like a series of. Anyway, we're not talking about Nicolas Cage. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to, because improvisation within the rulebook. I'm gonna say, because it's not loading for me to help me out, that your monocle seems to hone into something within the zooscope, and I'm going to say you feel something flash inside of your monocle, and one of the glass orbs on the side of it lights up white. Not brightly, but like almost as if a charge is within your monocle. And now I got a phone. One second.
You're muted again.
That's fair. Honestly, half the shit I say is stupid, so it's okay. This gives me a second chance to do something better.
It's all hard to settle.
It is. It really is. And muting myself is my best friend for any role-playing game ever.
I can't get it to give me a spell that I'm looking for, which is just fabulous. But you have a divination spell in your monocle now that will be useful potentially.
Divine as shit. But that's fucking awesome. Yeah. It kind of like flashes back and holds the size of his face. It's like, oh, there's something in that wee piece. He basically punched me in the face with the eye of Sauron. I swear to God. Fucking Christ. But yeah, I think that's definitely not nothing. He's drunk. He's not like, what do you want from him? Deep insights? This is the Eye of Schmilgleglin, the great wizard Kurglog.
Okay.
A great insight, Nostradamus.
Let me get my character notes and make it sound better. 1 second.
But yeah, the party continues, and it does slowly start to die down. Martha tells you that, yes, I'm hoping to get it ready for tomorrow. You'll see, but really we should definitely rest first.
I want to do something at the end of the party.
Yeah, that would be about now.
I go outside and I climb to the top of this tent thing. And Newt is gonna sing a song to the moon.
Ooh.
Roll me performance.
5 goes west.
27.
Holy
Wow.
shit! I'm gonna
That's
cry.
pretty nice.
So
How?
the
Oh,
song
shit.
it starts with croaks and whistles, and then those croaks and whistles start to get in rhythm with the sounds of the streets and the wind, and this is a desert area, but now it's filled with water. So probably another new amphibians are coming, and they start to chipping in the song, and it's all sounds all very naturey and harmonic.
And you do so, and as you do so, as you are in the Goblin Grottos, many goblins join in upon this song as they sing in their guttural throat, traditional songs and go along with the frogs croaking and the toads chirping.
This
And
is
this
solo.
kind
I
of-
will eat you.
I will leave you.
I will back to wizard.
and you perform the song to the moon, and this time it is the real moon, and its beauty is something you have not seen before.
Which moon it is? You can watch on your t-shirt.
True. This one,
Yes, the donut moon.
the
It's not a
donut
hole.
moon.
It's not a hole. It's just a dot. It's the big egg in the sky.
Ready to be cracked.
One day it will crack, and it will
And
hatch,
yeah,
and Newt will not be alone anymore.
Yeah. When he comes down, Seto's like crying while just holding a thing of liquor. Like, just just like laying down somewhere crying himself.
I love you guys.
Right? Just
I'm
shit
gonna
him.
murder you.
Fucking kill every one of you bastards.
Going through the seasons by the second.
Right?
ignore who might be about to do this.
Ooh.
But this is the spell that you're getting in your monocle. Oh, hang on. Oh, I just had that bitch. There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a big boy.
that's
Okay.
a long one.
It's detect
Oh,
thoughts, but I
hell
thought
yeah.
yeah. So you think it might be possible to detect the thoughts of the
Hell yes.
crystal, or maybe the objects, whichever way it works. Martha seems to be looking into it, and you're thinking somewhere between that and the crystal's zooscope, you might be able to divine what these past memories may be. And yeah, the party does die down with Newt singing on the rooftops and the frogs all croaking. As once again the night comes in as you spend the day drinking.
Val's still gone? Not Val. Is Wally still gone?
Has Weldon come back?
Now that it's like proper night or about to be, yeah, I'd say Walden has come back at this point.
Okie dokie.
What did Walden think of the beautiful song?
Was that there for the song?
It was cacophonous. It went from because the water and
Your
the other
answer.
amphibians.
Yeah.
I don't know if Walden would have like properly paid attention to it. Walden
Fair
kind of
enough.
off in his own space.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But six love it.
Yeah, and the night draws in. Hold on, let me just. And as you guys start to rest, it becomes calm. The night is quiet. It's not as though the mood has shifted. It's as though that light happiness. You're aware, all of you, that you've been sidetracked from your mission. You were meant to be investigating the fossil bones, and that lost a bit of steam coming into Hanka. You realized why it was important. You realized what those materials have been used for, but you've not been investigating them, and somebody else definitely was. And you remember when the Kirin took you to show you something important, a message in those actions. That definitely happened. That battle happened. But there was something there that you were chasing that you've stopped running after.
Is that a feeling like the group gets? Like,
yes,
kind of. All right.
Yes, it is, and as you guys kind of wake up, I wouldn't say you're filled with a sense of dread. I would say you're filled with a sense of, oh, we had a job. And Martha mentioned Mayor Winton, and maybe that would kind of remind you, oh yeah, we had something we were doing, and we were tasked to do it, and we had paperwork to do it. And I don't think, Martha would have definitely told you if there was an issue, but I think it kind of reminds you of Brad Langford, that can't have been him because it disappeared into snow. So something was wrong, and it seems like there were mentions of him. Newt said he'd heard him before. And you get this kind of sense of, oh, yeah, we need to see the lead in Hanka because we need to keep looking. Not all of the mystery is gone.
Sure.
And you all kind of rise and start getting up for the day.
Well, I don't have any of those feelings.
No, you wouldn't, Newt, because you just kind of be like, why is everyone a bit like awkward in this morning? That's weird.
I have the feeling that my quest is complete because I have my water bag, but still I have to talk with the turtle.
Is everybody that is on this map currently, did they sleep over? Was this like
Yes.
a giant sleepover? Okay.
If they're not in this yurt, they're in a one next to it. They are all in the area, including Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
I would say Walden is like kind of feeling that, but like is not like properly able to pay attention to that like deeper feeling right now. There's a level of distraught that Walton's just kind of going through this, kind of like taking all his focus.
That's fine. Yen starts making breakfast in the middle of the yurt, frying up some eggs. A few people are hungover. He puts a bit of ham in there for those people. Squishes down some mushrooms and caramelizes some onions for a nice hearty meal in the morning, and gets some of the stale bread and kind of fries it off to give it a bit of a crispy crunch. And yeah, you guys kind of wake up to a new day with new potential.
So, if I were to go downstairs, who would I see? Just Yen?
Yeah, Yen is cooking. It looks like, yes.
Oh, sorry, I was raising my hand. I'm under a table. Oh shit! 1 second.
I would also be downstairs.
Yeah. So yeah, Walden, you would see this. I don't know if you'd be really tuning into it. Food's never been your strong point.
Yeah.
And Steve, yeah, you see Yen kind of cooking up this meal, and Yen turns to both of you and goes, I do think that Martha made a breakthrough during the night, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I think she might have found a way to find those memories. Um, Actually, Walden, Liza wanted to talk with you for a second.
Okay, yeah. Where is she?
I think she was really, really drunk last night, and so she might be outside, passed out.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay. Yeah, I'll go see
Did you
her.
say
And
she's drunk as a fish?
I'll stand up and head outside to look for her.
Yeah, and you do, and you see Cuckoo kind of gently floating over her, and goes, "Oh, morning. How? Yes, it's Liza does this sometimes.
Hmm.
She did have something to say though. I'll wake her up." And you see Cuckoo fully shell smash into Liza, and then just like bounce off like a jellyfish, float back, and just continue going. Liza, they're here. You said you wanted to talk to them. And Liza kind of, yeah, yes, fish. As Liza wakes up, Walden, yes, Walden. What the thing is, I know some of what these will tell. The reason I wanted Martha to look into this in the first place really was to give you guys first-hand information rather than second-hand, like poor old Lucrid got, which seems to have led him astray. And I believe that your purpose in this situation will need you to not be led astray. But I do know parts of what's happened. As a Walden unit, actually, I don't know how to say this. I think you'll be able to see your information privately if you wish. But know that I think your friend is very supportive and, well, worth their weight in fish. And whatever you see in that crystal doesn't define you. You are you. And whatever that means to you is all that actually matters. And I'm sorry for my place in it. I should have done more.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, I guess. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, but I know that you know, you're not the kind of person to, at least intentionally, do bad things. So I'll take what I see with a grain of salt.
Sometimes a lack of action makes a bad thing, and that is a crime I have committed. Being as learned as I have been around long enough to have known that. But Dr. Nicola, I'd met him, and he was not a bad man. And like me, many of us learned types tend to forget the cost of knowledge.
Yeah.
But I don't think for one second that that you should think that anything you see in that crystal defines you.
To be honest, I don't know what would define me.
I think we all have that search. I don't think that's limited to you. Unfortunately, purpose is something some people lack for their whole lives, and I can only wish you good luck.
Thanks. I don't know. I thought that when if we won here, if we made things better, if we made this city like it was, there was a part of me that thought that I could return to the kind of life I had before. And I don't think that's true.
There's a word for it, you know. It's an old word. It's in a different language. It's a word called hierach. And it means to long for a place that you can no longer go to. And if there is a word for it, then you are not alone in experiencing it.
Yeah. Seems kind of foolish now.
No, I don't think so at all. No. But your friends are good and they respect fish, so I think maybe they are what you need. For now. Maybe for now is okay.
Okay. Thank you.
That's okay. And Liza literally just goes straight back into her shell. Like, clearly still very hungover. And you hear a soft whisper of fish as she starts snoring. Okay. I need to make a coffee because my cup ran out. So could we have a small 5-minute human break?
Human.
Human. Yep. Sweet.
I'm one of those.
I wish I was.
You define who you are.
You know what? Yeah, I should listen to my own words. Fish. Also, when you when you put that comment in chat, Mike, saying, and then she takes a hip of her vape and backs off. I
saw. I was like, sorry.
No, it was funny. Oh dear. I don't know if he muted us.
Thanks. That's an
We
empty chair.
will find out.
Are you there, Sophie?
Nope.
By the way, there's a One Piece break.
Whoa.
He came sick from Africa or something. Naked Goblin
Oh yeah.
and Crack.
They go together quite well, to be fair.
I'm finally on Thousand Sunny.
Oh, is it?
Yes. We just got there.
We were talking about the red line.
Oh, nice.
In your Crack.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I got one of those. It's behind me though, so I try to face
We saw.
forward.
What about there
Multiple
is a One Piece break? I know that is sick.
I know, and I don't know. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you spend a dude who spent his entire life in fucking Japan writing a book and then send him to South Africa to be a pirate.
I heard that it's not from that.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good.
In the
I don't think anybody knows, and it would be really, really bad publicity for Africa.
Yeah, I don't think even if it was.
I don't think it is Africa itself. It's the going to a trip and getting back. You're tired. You need to rest after a trip.
I think that's probably part of it. Is
And they're
like
hugely different climbs too. Like, so that's fair. By the time he got used to one, he probably had to shift back, and that's a lot for. He's in his 50s now. You know what I mean? Like he's
late 50s as well.
He's mega rich.
He honestly, I bet he's not as
money.
rich as we think. Just because I know them early Shueisha contracts are nasty work.
I think now he is.
Now he's getting real, yeah, but not as rich as he should be for like is what I mean. Like the way
Have
we
you
think
not
of
seen
it.
his playhouse?
I've
toilet.
seen a
His
couple of them.
No, his toilet is insane.
Okay, maybe I am missing Oda's toilet.
He's got
then.
like a model life-size giraffe in his house. There's not even his whole it's mad.
I've seen.
He has
It's
a
weird. I've seen
shark.
Horikoshi's place, but not his, which is weird.
He's got like two. He's got the one his wife and kids live in, and the one he writes in.
Honestly, why not? Fuck it. That man
Yeah.
earned it. You sell more copies than Batman, you can have whatever the fuck you want. And he's creeping up on fucking Superman too. He may be faster than the Flash, but he ain't faster than One Piece, bitch. Pika Pika no me, we're already there.
So, with the section we're about to go into,
Yes.
there is an order that makes the most timeline sense of it. So we'll probably do that. Yeah.
I'm back.
Yo.
You just asked who's doing what in the order you need.
Okay, sweet. So, are we unmuted on the stream, or did we never get muted?
Oh my god, that is far too valid. Yep, nobody ever got
sure
muted.
that we're
Well,
live right now.
Yeah, 100%.
We didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say anything wrong.
So, my bad.
All good. So, we're back to the game. We literally had a moment of, do you think we got muted?
Right.
So yeah, we'll go back in. So it is the next day. People are starting to gather down for breakfast. You guys do have probably your first hearty meal in a while. And maybe your first hearty cooked food meal.
Gross.
You probably do find it gross. I think you probably try and get some of the raw eggs and crack them into your mouth. And Martha comes up to you, Newt, and she goes, Liza told me, and Liza's still passed out, but she told me that there was some important context. Do you know who your patron is?
What? What?
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe everyone might need to come and help. The power that you have, where do you think it comes from?
From my strength, and I spit a lot of food to her face, and I
Oh God.
from my gut, and also from my guts. It's like it's burning and it comes out
Yes.
sometimes, some of it.
I think we might have worked out who your patron is. We back in Schroden, we'd asked you. No, that wasn't what it was called. Labshire. Back in Labshire, we asked this group if they would investigate some bones. I don't think you were traveling with them at the time, but have you heard of Grusov? And she kind of turns to all of the party as well.
I literally eyeballs.
It's that was the one for knowledge, the Titan related to knowledge.
Yes, a Titan. Liza actually helped a lot. She found some books. I think she marked some of them for you. One of them in
Prince.
particular.
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh no, it's okay. One of them in particular would have been about warlocks and their patrons. We have reason to believe. Maybe I should show you. And she spins the crystal like Seto and Steve had showed, and you see images of a darkness, and then lots of lights, lots of tiny lights, and Martha starts to explain. There are things called planes. There's the Feywild, there's Shadowfell, and then there's the outer planes. And when we pass on, sometimes we go to one of these planes, the outer planes especially. We don't exactly have knowledge of what happened to Gruseth exactly, but we have reason to believe he is on one of these outer planes as an Eldritch giant, and although we can't easily shift what plane we're on, if he has any kind of power to do so, that would be a great concern. But more interestingly, and like the images start to change, from what we understand, the followers, one I believe began with a B. Does anyone began with a B? It was in the library book. Does anyone remember?
Bolster.
What?
Bolster or
No, there was a
Balsa.
log on a library
No,
book.
that's this. Oh, Brad Langford.
Yes, that's the one. We believe that he is actually a cultist. Well, that's not entirely true. We believe that he has become a cultist. And we believe that Gruseth is his patron. Actually, we think that Grusif might be the patron of all of the Lich experiments. And that he is the eldritch entity able to make this unlife happen. There's no easy way of saying it. Anything touched and reliving by that black ichor, that eldritch energy, that unlife, well, if we do stop Brad's plans and Grusith doesn't come back to this plane, which would probably mean the end of our, lives. Anything that's been given lichdom or power through that cause will be taken back to those outer planes. They will essentially die.
I keep eating with a blank expression.
I don't know how much you're understanding, my small amphibious friend. But if your party doesn't find a new patron for you, your party's their quest that they are on will kill you.
What's up,
Because
Patreon?
you know the thing in your stomach, we believe it's a form of unlife, and it's leeching on your kind of presence in this plane.
It's always hungry.
Yes, that makes sense. That's the cost. There's always a cost with a patron.
I don't want to be hungry anymore.
I can understand.
If I go and do this thing, I would stop being hungry.
Well, you'd stop in general.
That sounds nice.
It depends if you ever want to punch a shark.
I want to punch a shark.
You won't be able to punch a shark if you die.
How would we fix this even?
Well, this is kind of part of what we're trying to understand. And she, spins the crystal. And the crystal starts showing more formed images. At this point, it flashes back to your test with the Kirin. It shows, and you see now from an outside perspective, that a large yearning in a soul ties another soul to a plane. The object of emotional weight, the ring that was on that giant's fossils, that ring was able to hold an element of the soul memory to the plane. And the giant banshee wailing for her lover's soul meant that a soul had to answer. Helga and her lover do not plan to return. As you see in the images, the banshee calmed when you changed things in that portal. You see fierce predators around the forest, around Steve and Seto's forest, and you see them retreating. And Martha says, well, we believe that when these things happened, when these changes in time happened, that the Kirin somehow, as a divine beast maybe, was able to know that your quest was needed. And I think it was showing you how phylacteries are formed. There has to be an object that ties Grusith to this plane and that allows him to communicate, to become a patron.
So if we get rid of that thing, it won't have a hold over Newt or anything else?
Problem is, although it won't have a hold, Newt will no longer have a hold, as that unlife will take his as it returns to the outer planes. That energy is almost negative. It's the only reason he's stable. He's an experiment. The only reason we think he's stable is, well, to be honest, Gruseth.
So we just have to find a different way to keep him alive.
Yes, and we believe that is part of what the council was trying themselves. They didn't truly achieve lichdom. The mummy lord situation with Quer seems to suggest. Now, Quer was a cleric. They were never. They were never a wizard. Normally, you need to be a wizard to become a lich. We believe that through Gruseth, Quer experimented with different things, and the crystal shifts again. And you guys remember that Quer was the chair of worship, and that Quer had been leading the church followers into different faiths and different avenues. And you believe that there is a connection maybe where these followers were powering faith in Gruseth, and that allowed Gruseth more presence in this plane. And now that's been lost. There's kind of a more tedious link, almost like it's more tension on that thread, and the more it gets pulled, it will sever. And the more that, like, you know, if the potential phylactery is destroyed, like with Helga's husband Balder, then there is a way to stop him coming back. And she continues. We believe that Ranjul was a paladin, and that he found his ways to become a lich too. But neither of them had true lichdom. Actually, Walden, there's something you may want to see for yourself. And she hands you the crystal.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
As you spin the crystal and it divines, you actually experience some of this as flashbacks, as this crystal's view seems so clear to you. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Sure. Unfortunate.
Okay. So, Walden, you spin this crystal and something about the divination magic completely takes your mind as you live this. You go through the memories of the creator of your body. You see Dr. Nicola arguing with Quer. You see him fiercely protesting what's happening in the dying in Badlands and what was happening with the flooding of the tunnel. The movement of the water into those swamplands flooded so much that it killed the ecosystem and blocked the now abandoned tunnels to the other side of the continent. Dr. Nicola's protests to the council were unheard, and his Walden research, and you see through Dr. Nicola's eyes as his research into these fossil bones, these magical fossils, as fuel cores, give him a key discovery, and that discovery makes him think that it could be possible to find new ways to bolster Hanka. But unfortunately, the council, seeing the potential of a fossil core for keeping their energy source of lichdom safe, force him into working in a slightly different direction with the Walden units. Seeing you as Dr. Nicola, you see the war happening before your eyes, the mass culling of bogfolk and mountain folk, and you realize the cost of knowledge has become higher than the usefulness of the quest of knowledge. It's your last day, and you see yourself through Dr. Nicola's eyes. You say to yourself, I have one last mission. And you wonder, why would he have said last? But it's a mission. And he talks to you about enemy forces. He talks to you about you having a choice of what you do. And you see yourself leave Dr. Nicola's side for the last time as you go to fight an insurgents, a rebellion against what's happening. But at this point, you do not know that this is what it is. and you see through Dr. Nicola's eyes his notes on you. And it talks about that the council is seeking to use what he's researched as a cleaner lich, without the need for blood right and without the need for a fossil core fuel or any kind of fuel to hold their soul to this plane. And it clearly shows you a diagram of inside of your chassis. And you realize that Dr. Nicola knew that this mission would fail. The council would be sure of it. They would make sure that he was alone and could be assassinated, and that the Walden units would fail. And he encoded one last secret inside of you, a fail-safe command. For you are his proudest legacy. You are a Walden unit, the first Walden unit, with a human soul fully bound to its core, rather than a fragment of a soul. And the soul inside of you is Dr. Nicola's. And you are his pride and joy. So he tells you without you knowing, as he installs this last mission in you. Hide and wait. Wake when the water sleeps, and live on when banshee tears dry. And you come back into the desert, and you are in a state of shock and panic and fear as you watch your creator be assassinated almost, and you know what's coming for him, and you remember so much of the past, and it jolts you into a reality, but you are around your friends, these people who know nothing almost about your past and still have helped you every step of the way of your choices. And the crystal goes dead straight and stops showing pictures.
Huh.
Do you see that, or does only he see that?
You would see kind of shadow puppet versions, but not really the detail level.
Okay.
That fucking man. And like Walden just kind of covers his like face with his hand and is just kind of like sitting there. It's just like, that fucking man. Of course he did. Of course he fucking did. Nothing was on accident. Wow.
I give a little arm around the shoulders, if allowed.
Yeah. Oh man.
A bottle pops out from the bench underneath you. Like,
Oh, hi.
Zeto's been there the whole time, but he just like passes you the bottle now.
Yeah, Walden will take it and do a big swig.
You get sticky again.
It's like, yeah, stick up those gears. That's worth it.
Come on.
All right, not so much. A little bit of hair of the dog that bit me. I swear to God, it was a whole pack. It was a whole pack of wolves if it was anything. It just takes a little bit.
I do actually think there are more things to be revealed in this crystal. Sorry to ask, but we believe that resulting genocide of the Boglands gave test subjects to the council. Newt may be one of them, but we think his case may be slightly different. But the reason a lot of goblins were chosen is because they were disposable. However, this is where Brad comes into it, we believe. Brad Langford is a Genagast. He is twisted by his age. We believe he came around 250 years ago, and he seeks to implant the wrath of those dead and passed on souls. Well, not passed on, as they have become him. They have entwined together all of those failed tests, all of those humanoids with wills and loves of their own that were, well, genocided, have become vengeful. And we believe, although childish, that is why one common thread remains in them, that they wish to make the council pay, that they wish to make people pay for what happened. And Grusith seems to have manipulated this into him. He will be able to see them get vengeance. We believe this is why he was able to become a patron to so many.
Well, looks like we have a target at least.
Yes, we believe that it may have been Randall and his way of becoming a lich that changed the water system to force travel through Hanka. The price of being a lich was so great that 300 years ago, just before Brad showed up and there was so much death, this is believed to have been to keep his pact with his patron and keep his lichdom. But when it comes to the bones, there's a stationary settlement called Reputa, and it's a settlement just before the arboreal jungle. If there are other planes involved, the people of Paith are the only masters of seeking where the fabrics of the realm are the thinnest. There are known fossils in their nomadically circled lake. We believe that the people of Paith may actually have a way to access other planes. We know they access the Feywild. It could be possible there's a way to find severing Grusev's connection to this plane there. It may also lead you to find another patron, as they tend to be extraplanar.
You notice that I'll kind of perk up a little bit. Like, not so much as, like, you're used to, because Seto's generally animated, but given, you know, he's Winter, because essentially that dream was, like, get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of how he internally took that. And so he's like, yeah, we got to get our stuff going.
Actually, there's something I'd like you to see.
Oh.
And she hands you and Steve the crystal.
Look at Seto.
All right.
Look at Crystal.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at Seto.
Back and forth and back and forth.
Right? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Is this like...
If you spin it, you may be able to see something in what's changed.
It's like, so it's not a harmony then. Sorry. I was going to go for the high one. The high. Okay.
Oh, you might be able to modulate somehow. That's on you.
I'll take the crystal string and look at him and go, point at the crystal.
Oh, wait a second. And he starts kind of spinning the crystal. I don't know if you did this when you were kids, but like when you would spin it and it would like contract and you keep doing it like that.
Yeah.
Those kind
with
of
like
things.
the elastic and the wheel. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be elastic, but yes, exactly. Now that I'm remembering, I'm like, holy shit, they were elastic. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, kind of something like that. But obviously, whatchamacallit has one side and I have the other. Does that
And
do
you
anything?
together spin the crystal. Could you both give me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh.
Wisdom
Fuck.
saving throw.
Roll.
Uh,
It literally is the not the worst. Just shy of not the worst.
Steve, you see the crystal as images. You see what's about to happen, and you have these memories already. But I don't think you've ever really shared them with Seto. So you're kind of able to visualize quite well what's happening within them. However, Seto, for you, you are transported into these memories through Steve's eyes. Martha had mentioned an influx of aggressive predators due to Helga and her banshee's wails, that they had pushed predators away from their normal grounds and closer into the forest of Grinwall. That influx of aggressive predators led to Steve out on a hunting, well, not a hunting trip, that would be wrong. Steve was out foraging, truly. And you see, as he sees your parents. Sorry.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. So you see as he sees your parents. You see them running. And Steve, you see the images of this replaying. You see them running. You see panic. You feel panic as you see these two Eladrin, something you've just never really seen before. These elves, with one with cold, icy features and the other with burningly hot leaf features, as they're scared, as they're injured, and they are running from a pack of wolves. Steve was just out on a daily business, but as you see these people, you know you must help. You have a hesitation, Steve. You were on your path to start learning Druidic arts, and you were expected at this age to attempt to become an archdruid. To do this, you had to take an oath of non-violence. And that non-violence meant that if you were to intervene with these two Eladrin, you would break your oath of balance. And yet you see them holding a child, a small child in their arms, and you are unable to stop yourself. You lash out at these wolves and you change the balance, failing your right. As this happens, the wolves, originally, you could have sworn these you hesitated too long last time. You know you hesitated too long last time. You were only able to save the child. But this time there are less wolves. Helga isn't wailing as loudly since receiving the ring. Something has changed, and you are able to save Seto's parents. You were told you were never allowed to harm, and now you know you must never harm without great caution. Even in moments it seems too risky not to kill. However, this learning, that still happened. You were able to pass your right this time, as you did not need to kill as much. You were able to save them. You were able to heal them. You were able to be pacifistic. However, the Eladrin tell you that there is a cult of Pan within Paith, and they cannot escape for long. That is why they were running. They hand you their only child, and they run. They run back to Paith. There are less predators now, as Helga does not chase them, and Seto's parents may not have died. However, Steve, you did still pause your training to keep an eye on Seto. And as Seto grew and settled into Grinwall, you yourself settled and had a wife and children. Stephanie. And you were able to pause this training, but now on your travels, you are closer to Archdruidism than you have ever been before. And this path may be opened up to you once more. Seto, you are expelled from these memories, and this time, rather than feeling the panic that maybe Walden experienced, you have nothing but a heart-sinking feeling of seeing your parents for the very first time. You have both a deep yearning to see them again and a deep anguish in why they felt they had to leave. Steve, this is a story you've never really told Seto, as you didn't really understand how to, because before his parents had died. But now maybe this is a conversation you'll have.
You, like, as he kind of comes out of this space, you hear like a small like clattering. Like he's standing really like perfectly like postured, but there's this clattering as like small pieces of ice start to hit the floor. And he can't, like, he's, because that's how he cries.
I kind of look at Seto and just kind of give one of those like head nods, like,
Newt is looking at all of you, going sobby and sad and stoic, like, what's happening?
Yeah, his eyes are, because it is winter, and they reflect the coldness of somebody who is actively not dealing with something. So that, like, it's just, that's what it is. Like, it's just blank.
I believe those goggles may have been linked to someone in those memories, as the armor was for Walden. I know that Steve wasn't linked to the goggles, so we believe that it's possible that those were your father's.
Steve?
And
this here?
Yes. We think that the lenses are actually ice, a permafrost ice that can never melt.
Oh my god. Are these goggles this whole time?
It's like a uni goggle.
Oh, okay, no, like, okay. I thought I was stupid.
No.
It's so easy to happen.
I'm imagining like the Usopp thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, wait a fucking... But yeah, we got this daily here. That's perfect. And yes, that is... And he kind of like...
And as the group kind of starts to process this information, Newt maybe not processing it and not understanding it, but certainly some people. But that's okay. Yen goes, "Oh, Paith, I have a cousin there."
I bet you do.
I mean, it's a large family.
Yeah, you guys, they're giant. I heard there was like some 27 cousins. That could have just been Glenn in his cups. You know, he likes to drink.
Glenn has an exaggeration in him. No, I think there's only about probably 16 of the cousins. I mean, there were 4 brothers originally. A lot of them had children too. But if you do see them, do say hi.
I've made friend with every one of your cousins I've met so far.
Yes, I think... Gosh. I think it was... Was it Ken? Yes, Ken. It was Ken. They live by Pave, a small settlement. Rasputa.
All right. So essentially the plan more or less is to head to Rasputa to meet up with Ken here and then find out where exactly Paith is, as they're nomadic fuckers.
Yes, you'll have to go to Rasputa because no one will know where Paith is until, well, you find them really, but it's difficult. They'll be circling the lake somewhere though.
If I remember correctly as a character / player, that is the lake with the bones at the bottom that we did not go to.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And with a sense of direction, you start preparing for a journey. And Liza comes up to you, probably Seto and such, and says, if possible, I would like you to take a coup.
Aren't you be needing him?
Well, this is the thing, darling. I have work to do here, and Lucrut will not make a good council member alone, I think we all know. Gruta by his side will help a great deal, but that means I can't take Cuckoo to the water.
She knows secret about fish.
Cuckoo knows lots about fish.
She can come.
Could only imagine. I mean, it was never a no. It was more of a, is everything okay? But yeah.
Of course.
Cuckoo's more
It's
than
just
welcome.
that Cuckoo is ready to, how does one politely put it? Return to their breeding grounds, which is that lake.
Oh.
And Cuckoo is not a spell familiar; they are just a familiar. And what kind of companion would I be to deny them their natural life cycle?
Fucking
I would
monster
greatly
movie.
appreciate it if you could accompany them.
I mean, what better mission could there be than help a friend to get a little bit of willy wet, you know?
Oh,
Absolutely. I'm not going to tell Cuckoo I'm not coming, though. Ta-ta!
Oh, he's just like, tilts his head, like, and the face just says, this bitch.
As Liza goes to pretend to be passed out again, you see that Cuckoo, who had been watching over her passed out body, has had a little nap and was kind of on a little pillow. And you see as they sleep, they kind of go,
I'm gonna look in the corner at our favorite narcoleptic barbarian. Just
oh, yes. I think there would have been memories, but maybe we'll get to them to another time. For now, we will investigate what causes their sleep. They will catch up with you.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
And so, yeah, you guys get ready to head out, and we will end the session there.
All right. And do we level up now?
Can I
Because
say
Hanka's
one
done,
last thing?
right? That was what you said? I'm sorry, I've been waiting.
chill.
Not quite. We're nearly there. We're nearly at level up. That'll
Yeah.
probably be after next session when you're actually on the road.
I'm okay.
All right.
It's almost like the wind whispers, the long rest. It happens after a long rest.
But we just
Yeah.
got one.
I'll put it to you like this. I see it as the characters have just gone through so much and learned so much that they would not have time to train themselves to gain new skills. But when they leave Hanka, they would have time to think about their experiences and reflect. And at that point, they would have new skills.
That's a cool ass way to think of it. All
I
right.
agree.
Yeah, I like that. All right. And on that note, and that dope ass DM ass explanation, we will say au reservoir. That's French for bye.
Adieu.
Goodbye.
Reservoir. That's funny.
Roll with
Oh,
them
shit.
20
yeah.
some ones.
Oh yeah, life happens in every direction, even when you forget your own catch.